Hello, and welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog Mania Extended Edition and Hatsune Miku.
What? I was not ready for Hatsune Miku.
Alright, so let's start the story, Zach. So what has Hatsune Miku been up to, and why is she in the Sonic universe? Well, let's start. The year is 2000XX. The virtual diva Hatsune Miku is performing a sold-out concert in Tokyo. Suddenly, a strange portal opens behind Miku. The crowd screams, but Miku is oblivious and gets pulled in.
Oh no, she's gonna have to meet Infinite.
When Miku wakes up, she's in a strange forest in a strange costume. A talking two-tailed fox explains the situation. He explains that the CEO of Krypton of Crypto Future Media. Oh wow. And even worse, he's assembled an army of Miku's past collaborators to assist his takeover. The CEO is apparently planning to install Miku as the world's mascot and establish dominance over something called a Sega. To make matters worse, the world's legendary hero mysteriously disappeared after his last adventure. But Miku's new attire gives her the legendary hero's abilities. Miku decides she hates the CEO's plans and teams up with the two-tailed fox named Tails to free the world from Krypton's control. Fight, Miku. Fight for everlasting peace!
Is this an official DLC or is this a mod?
No, Zach, this is actually a full conversion mod made by a fan that turns Sonic Mania into a Hatsune Miku mod thing where she's basically wearing a Sonic suit. And you'll see that this is not the only change that is made. It isn't just you're playing as Hatsune Miku in a Sonic suit. Some of the backgrounds and some of the music will also be changed. But it's basically Sonic Mania.
Okay. I know it's weird to ask if this is a mod or not, but Sega, I believe, did work on rhythm games starring Vocaloids.
Yeah.
So I figured they could have done this as cross-promotion.
It's possible. I know nothing about Hatsune Miku, by the way, Zach. I don't know really anything about her besides sort of what Vocaloids are. I haven't watched any videos of them, I don't know.
I had a big Vocaloid phase, like, quite a few years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Although I would say, like, I wasn't that big of a fan of Hatsune Miku. I was more into, like, Rin and Len Kagamine, if I remember their names correctly. I still listen to some of the Vocaloid tracks, but not as much as I used to. I have not played the Vocaloid games.
They even changed Sonic's model in the special stages to still look like Hatsune Miku from the back. It's a full conversion mod.
Oh, they even added Hatsune Miku music.
Yes, so they add some of her Vocaloids to some of the stage music, and they also add some other stuff as well that we'll get to in later levels. So, Zach, you haven't really played anything of Sonic Mania, right?
I haven't even touched Sonic Mania, but I have played Sonic Superstars.
You definitely have played Sonic Superstars, for better and for worse.
Yeah, I would say that's the best way to put that.
This is a better game, but it was made by Sonic fans, so I guess that kind of goes without saying. Like, Zach played Sonic Superstars, and he was like, I don't think... I sort of like this, but I also really don't like this. Is this how 2D Sonic games are? Maybe they're just not for me. And I'm like, Zach, no. No, Sonic Superstars definitely has differences, and Sonic Mania is far closer to what the original games were.
Okay, yeah, because I've played the original games, but not enough, especially recently, to remember how they were supposed to be. So I was playing Sonic Superstars and just being like, is this how a classic Sonic game is supposed to be, or am I just crazy? Because, like, it looked like one, and it played like one. But level design-wise, I think it's massively annoying, and I think the boss fights are awful. Yeah, that boss fight looked fine.
Oh no, the boss fights in Mania are basically just like the old Sonic boss fights. You can beat the bosses in like seconds.
Yeah, I remember being a kid and playing Sonic 2 and being absolutely horrible in the Chemical Plant Zone boss fight.
I grew up with, well, all of these games. Well, I grew up mainly with 2, and then I got the PC version of 3 later on and played that and Sonic & Knuckles on PC. And then eventually I got like a cartridge of like 6 Sega Genesis games that had Sonic 1 on it, and I played Sonic 1 a little bit, but I didn't care for it very much. Gotta get that ring! No! It's over there!
I need that ring! Give me that ring!
And I do like these special stages quite a bit. I like how they combine elements from Sonic 3 and Sonic CD.
Yeah, I like the look of these special stages way more than Superstars.
Come on. There we go. Yeah, you gotta make sure you have your ring count up. I mean, obviously it's important to get the orbs so that you can up your speed, but if you don't have enough rings, you're gonna lose fast if you don't have enough time.
Yeah, these special stages make sense in comparison to Superstars. I don't think Superstars is bad, but I can't tell if it's just not for me or if it's just not like well made. I don't know. I'm back.
Well, I can say that Superstars. I can tell you, Zach, that Superstars is definitely a Sonic the Hedgehog game because it's come out and all of its opinions have been extremely decisive, well, decisive but derisive, because you've got people that love it and you've got people that think it's a hot mess. So
yeah, that seems to be the condition Sonic's in now. Although I think Mania was universally liked.
oh yeah, people mostly just love Mania. I've seen some people that feel like it's too long of a game, or the levels are too long, or have some niggling issues with it, but I think most people consider this to be not only one of the best 2D Sonic games, but one of the best games in the franchise. Though on a personal level, I still think Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles is a better video game overall, but, it kind of ends up being that way when this game is taking literal levels that are ripped from other Sonic games.
Yeah, I don't have much Sonic experience besides being terrible at 2. And the less we go into that, the better. Barely played any of... I can't remember if I played Sonic 3 or Sonic & Knuckles.
Was there a level with mushrooms?
Yeah.
Then it's Sonic & Knuckles.
Okay, that's what I thought it was Sonic & Knuckles, but I wasn't entirely sure. Yeah, I remember liking Sonic & Knuckles way more than I liked Sonic 2. Although I didn't get very far into Sonic & Knuckles. I really like Generations and Colors, and I really like Frontiers. I know Frontiers is yet another one where Sonic fans can't decide if they like it or not, but... I hope it's a gameplay style that Sega finally sticks with, because Sonic needs something consistent. I feel like Sonic keeps getting... I feel like Sonic Team keeps trying to do things to try to please everyone, and eventually they're just gonna have to realize you can't save everyone. You're gonna have to pick some people.
No, I mean, and it's a lot of it is their fault that their fan base is so fractured between people that liked one version of Sonic and other people that liked another version of Sonic. So there's really no way they can please their entire fan base, but they still try to. I think Forces at least show them that if they try to appeal to everybody, they're going to appeal to nobody.
Yeah, and I would say that's just good game development advice in general. Just realize that you can't please everyone. That some people, no matter what you do, are just going to hate a thing that you make, and it doesn't even always have to make sense. That's something I've had to learn. And I'm imparting this wisdom to you so you can... I don't know. Basically, just realize that people are crazy. It would be nice if they stuck to the Frontiers gameplay model. Not just because I like it, but just because they need to stick to something and refine
it. Something.
Anything. And... What the world?
Yeah, remember it's the CEO that we're going up against. It's not Dr. Robot.
Yeah, honestly, I was so busy listening to myself talk, I completely forgot this was a Hatsune Miku mod. I just got too used to seeing her in a costume.
Ah! Put me right back into the bomb. There we go, we got him. And that boss, yeah, took like 20 seconds.
Yeah, I'm looking at your timer, and it took you less than 2.5 minutes, whereas if this was Sonic Superstar, it'd be 7 minutes.
Yep.
But like I said, I don't want to make it come off like I think Superstars is bad, just... It ruffles my jimmies.
I mean, if Superstar says anything, it is just that, hey, they're technically all new levels. Which is cool that it's all that they went the extra mile to really try to make Superstars, but kind of what people wanted of a Mania 2 was just entirely original levels. But the problem is that, well, one, you know, what they came up with level design wise, a lot of the time is kind of frustrating instead of fun. And two, many of the aesthetics are just ripped like wholesale from other Sonic levels. Just, you know, tweaked a little bit.
Yeah, I like a lot of the concepts of the gimmicks, just execution-wise. I really felt like the level design is what kills my fun in Superstars. I think a lot of it just feels like I'm running, and then I always inevitably hit something, no matter what I do.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so far for what I'm seeing in Mania, it looks much better.
Well, have you noticed something distinctly different from the gameplay experience you had with Superstars, Zach? That you're not constantly crashing into things.
Yeah. Yeah, I noticed that. That's why I said this looks way better.
Yeah, you like notice how I have 80 rings. And this is also Chemical Plant. I played this level approximately 1 million times, but... it's just Sonic as you're just flying through the level.
Yeah, like, you're able to move fast without getting hit by something out of nowhere. It's weird. It's bizarre. I'm not used to this.
Tails, you almost got me. Oh, well. With that, you just have to jiggle the stick left and right to wiggle out of its grasp. Here we go. But yes, in Superstars, you would hit the boss, and then they would, like, suddenly become invincible as they have a recovery period leading to their next hit, where they would have, like, a, you know, where you wouldn't be able to hit them again because they're trying to drag out the boss fight. Here you can hit the boss as much as you want as long as they're open.
That's honestly how I've always preferred boss fights to be designed. I've never liked boss fights that just go, okay, you get to hit the boss once, now you gotta wait for his pattern to be over, and then he reveals a weak spot that you can hit. I've just never been a big fan of that type of boss design in general, and I think Sonic Superstars is possibly some of the worst of it.
Okay, so this level's theme has been very much remixed. They've changed up the instruments. They sound a lot more Genesis-like now. And let's wait for it. There we go. A lot more crazy Vocaloid stuff going on. So this is Chemical Plant Act 2, where they massively remix this. Like, this is not what Chemical Plant 2 in the original game was like at all. The original game, I think a lot of what we saw of the original game's Chemical Plant 2 was in Act 1 of this game. For this, the developers basically just went nuts. They just messed around with gimmicks from Sonic 3 and Sonic 2, as well as adding their own gimmicks. Like that muck we were like bouncing off of, that's from like Wacky Workbench in Sonic CD. And while, yes, Sonic Mania, unfortunately or fortunately, just recycles levels from the past games, it does so in a way where it's not just wholesale the level design a lot of the time. It is remixing things in interesting ways.
Yeah, I do like the idea of injecting the chemicals and then it changes the property.
Yeah, the gimmicks in Sonic Mania are good and fun.
And it's not, like, trying to murder you.
Yeah, like, a lot of the gimmicks and enemy designs in Superstars just don't feel like they were tested super well. Like, you're just getting hit constantly with little time to react to any of it. Zach, what you're saying now, this is like what Sonic 3's like.
Yeah, when I think of the enemies in Superstars, I think of, like, the frog. That you're just moving very, very fast, and then all of a sudden it just grabs you and pulls you back, and it takes the player, like, a couple seconds to realize what happened, because it's so sudden. And then you'll often get hit by whatever the frog is pulling you into. Or those damn things when you're grinding on the vines. Suddenly, just an enemy will pop off screen with barely any warning.
Yep. Yeah, you either got those frogs that'll hold you back, or you got those guys that'll just come racing up the track. And I was playing some of Trip's campaign earlier today, and I was like, well, yeah, I'm expecting these guys now. Nope, even when I saw them on the edge of the screen and jumped, I still took a hit.
Yeah, like, the game kind of tries to warn you, but I feel somehow that even then, they still move in too quickly. No, I gave up during Trip's campaign. I couldn't do it.
I really like this remix they actually did with the Vocaloids.
Yeah, this sounds really good.
Aha, and the boss fight.
Oh, yeah, okay, I've heard of this boss before.
Obviously, you're fighting Robotnik here in the main game that's not modded.
Okay.
Oh, and the music's different here, too. Yeah, it's just a matter of getting things lined up and hitting combos so that way you can take them out. Okay, let's not execute the yellows yet. Okay. Line up the reds, use this next yellow to do a combo. And some people say that while this is a cute reference, people have bitched about the use of references in Mania because it feels like it would, you know, become irritating on repeat playthroughs. But for me, I don't know, I like it. I think it's cute and fun, and it's a break in the pace of the game. In a good way, I mean.
No, yeah, like, it's something different. Me personally, I could see this being cute the first time, and then probably getting annoying on repeat playthroughs, yeah.
Well, Zach, if you're fast enough, you can do this in like, you know, a minute.
Yeah, but then you'd have to be really, really good at Mean Bean Machine. And that's a fate worse than death.
There we go. And, if I'm right, we're on to our first new level, not ripped from another Sonic game, that is developed entirely by the developers of Mania, which is, of course, motherfucking Studiopolis. Oh, I'm sorry, Dominoopolis.
Oh, that's right. There was yeah. There's a Hatsune Miku Domino's crossover. I forgot about that.
Yes, so there's tons of Domino's Pizza texturing stuff in this game, Zach, as well as Pizza Man. I mean, was it Pizza Man or was it Pizza Hut Man or what was his name? That one really hard like arcade game.
I have no idea.
Do you know what I'm talking about at all?
No.
Okay, I thought you would know about this. Yeah, there was like this really hard arcade game called like Pizza. Oh no, Pepsi Man is what I'm thinking of.
Oh, yeah, Pepsi Man.
Yeah, Pepsi Man is also in this game.
Okay.
It's basically Hatsune Miku and memes.
I thought maybe you were talking about Pepsi Man. I'm like, well, Pizza Man could have probably also existed. No, but yeah, okay, I know who Pepsi Man is.
And now, Zach, as we're hitting the main climax of the song, the real refrain, the game is now just going dominoes, dominoes, domino, dominoes. Oh, now it's hot dogs instead of popcorn. Okay, in the main game, those would be popcorn machines. There's Hatsune Miku instead of Robotnik.
I like this level aesthetic, memes aside.
Well, in the main game, this is Studiopolis, which is movie-themed. It's a Robotnik's movie studio, which is a great idea for a level. And it's just fun to run through.
I mean, that's one thing I'll say about Superstars, though, is that I felt like, even if the levels were kind of already done in other Sonic games, I think Sonic Superstars' art style looks good. I think the presentation's very good.
I don't know why they went so hard with really remixing everything in this game, Hatsune Miku and memes, but it's done with such artistry. Like, they really did redo all these textures, and they really did remix the music in a way that actually was appealing to the ear instead of just being for memes.
There's something about shit posters where they'll just put the most effort into the dumbest things. And honestly, I applaud it.
And we have our first of the hard-boiled heavy boss fights. I always find these missiles hard to dodge because there's a bunch of blowback on the wind hitting you. There we go. Nope. Well, either way, we're going to get some rings as it loads up the next section here. Oh, that little, what do you call it, sampling of We're Gonna Get Funky, that was added by the modders. That was not in the original song. I like this boss fight a lot, too.
Yeah, every single boss has looked much better than the one from Superstar.
I love the bosses in Mania.
Which I don't mean to keep harping on it, but it's the most recent Sonic experience I've had.
And it's also, you know, the main thing people bitch about with Superstars.
Yeah.
So, it's warranted. Alright, one more.
Which made me glad, because I thought it was just a skill issue, so when I heard other people also complaining about the boss fights, I wanted to cry tears of joy. Like, good. Okay.
All right, and Studiopolis, or I'm sorry, Dominoopolis Act 2. Let's see what they do with the screens in the background here for this mod.
Wow, we've played so much of this.
Oh my god!
It's not even been what? It's not even been half an hour. We've already played through so many levels.
I know. Look, Domino's Pizza ad.
For a second, I thought that guy was George Bush.
I think it's probably just
now, but
it's probably just some like Domino's ad guy that I was probably making commercials back in the day for. In the original game, of course, it's just like a little animation of Robotnik laughing. But yeah, Zach, when the levels are actually much shorter, it allows you to go through more of them faster.
Yeah. When the levels aren't just built to be irritating.
You know, when Mania came out, it was a lot of us Sonic fans basically just being like, look, Sonic was always good. Fuck you guys. This game is fun. It's well designed. It's not frustrating. It's just a blast, and it's kind of relaxing.
Yeah, who would have thought all it took was, you know, effort.
And just fans that were passionate. I mean, I don't think Arzest was, you know, made Superstars to be bad. It was more just, I mean, they were coming right off of Balan Wonderworld. They were basically, you know, if they didn't made another bad game, I'm sure that Arzest was probably screwed.
I mean, Arzest already doesn't have the greatest reputation.
I know, but...
Like, I mean, Balan Wonderworld... Wait, Wonderworld or Wonderland? I never... It doesn't matter.
I think it's Wonderworld, but I honestly don't give a shit either way.
But the point is, no, they also made Yoshi's New Island, which I have no experience with beyond that one song. And, ooh, that one Yoshi's New Island track sucks. Have you heard that one? I think I've shown it to you before.
I'm not sure. I think you have. I also have to play the game to hear it.
No. I'm trying to remember, because, like, Arzest, I know, is known for making a lot of kind of just very mediocre games.
Yes, okay.
Trying to remember what else they made without looking it up, but...
And I already have 4
really
of the Chaos Emeralds, which I would definitely not have in Superstars by this point. Like, I'm wondering if part of the design philosophy around Superstars was it was going to be... I mean, it was going to be played by... They wanted to bring in new fans, but I imagine that some of it was also trying to appeal to fans of the old 2D Sonic games, so maybe that's why they made it a little more tricky, but I think it just made it not fun in a lot of ways as a result.
Yeah, I kind of get that feeling.
Like, the final boss of Superstars... Like Zach, the final boss of Superstars is the final boss of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but with like added stuff to how it attacks.
Is there any boss like Knack in Sonic 3? Where it's just like waiting the boss?
Oh, like waiting on like a platform to eventually hit the boss? No.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that in Sonic 3. Like, the closest you get is the, is it? No, it's not Marble Garden. It's some garden. It's like the 3rd zone in Sonic 3, but there's like a boss in that where you're Sonic being lifted by Tails, and you're flying in the air against a flying Robotnik boss, and you have to like, time it right to hit Robotnik when he flies past you. But other than that, and you can also beat that boss super fast too. Ah, I wanted that shield.
Wait, isn't there also... Isn't there, like, Sky Chase Zone in Sonic 2 or something? Where you're on the plane?
Yeah, you're on Tails' plane and you have to hit a bunch of enemies and, you know, it's all auto-scrolling. It's not... It's often called one of the weakest parts of that game. Oh no, it's Yonoid. He's giving us the weather.
It's really hot. Oh no.
Yeah, so in the main game, this is essentially a weather-themed boss where the Weather Channel dictates what different attack you're gonna get.
This is honestly a cool gimmick. This is cool. This is neat.
This game is full of just cool gimmicks. There we go. Yeah, and his slight drift down in his when he's flying around, you can get him. Just gotta time it right. See, got 3 hits in a span of seconds. You could not do that in Superstars.
I'm very envious. You know, because Brandon and I essentially traded games. I borrowed Superstars and he borrowed Mario Wonder. And you can see which one of us got the better deal there. I tried to be nice about it at first, but you know, when Brandon gave back Wonder, and I was just like, yeah, Wonder is superior in every way.
Anime aircraft.
Anime aircraft.
Which is, well, Flying Battery from Sonic and Knuckles. Oh wait, no, actually, am I right? No, Flying Battery is in Sonic 3, I believe. I always get Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles kind of... They just go together in my head because they literally are the same damn game, just different parts of it. Like, when people try to say what's the best 2D Sonic game and they put Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles in different brackets, I can't really agree because it is one big game.
Wait, there are people who do that? I always consider Sonic... I don't consider them as 2 separate games. I consider them Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Even though my mom's friend's Genesis, like, he only has Sonic and Knuckles, but I always feel like you only get the complete game if you have both.
That is how it is, and that's how I feel anyway, but some people like to, you know, treat them both as their own individual games when they're putting all the 2D Sonic games together, and many people do that because they feel Sonic 3 overall has better levels than Sonic and Knuckles. Which I have mixed feelings about that opinion. There we go, another extra life, just ranking them up.
For anyone who wants to know what our thoughts on the opinion of the multiplayer of Sonic Superstars is, what multiplayer? I don't consider that to be multiplayer.
I mean, it's the main thing they advertised about the game, but when Zach and I actually tried, like, just co-op in Sonic Superstars, it was a nightmare. The screen doesn't follow anybody, so it just feels like a mess. No, it does follow, like, one player, and then you can't see where you're going, and it's just a nightmare. It's a mess.
It's not multiplayer. It's whoever's the farthest ahead gets to play.
Yeah. It is literally the whole little brother and you play Sonic 2 and you play a Sonic and run ahead of him as Tails and he can never catch up with you. But they just make it 4 players instead, and it's just like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you address that issue people had with Sonic 2 and make co-op that actually feels good?
I'm trying to think how you would even... I'm trying to think how you would even do it. The only thing I could think of is to have either do it online, of course, where everyone has their own screen. But I feel like the best way to do Sonic multiplayer would be some kind of racing mode where you try to see who gets to the end of the level the fastest. Although I guess that already was a thing in the Sonic 2. There was like a racing mode, I believe, for the multiplayer. But I'm talking about not just like it's a mode, but the actual main game multiplayer.
Right. Wait, which game were you referring to, Zach?
I mean, like, Sonic 2 has its own racing mode, where you can have Sonic vs. Tails in its split screen.
Sonic 3 also has that as well, yes. And you know how in Sonic 2's version, it's kind of... it's like split screen that's... how do you call it? It's like squished a bit.
Yeah.
In Sonic 3, it's not squished. They actually made miniature sprites for all the characters, so it actually looks very polished.
Oh, okay, that's neat.
Sonic 3's the best Sonic game. Fight me, IRL. It will always be the best Sonic game. Okay, here we go. Yep, I definitely did that.
Clearly the best Sonic game is Sonic Battle, a game that I have for some reason beaten.
So have I. Gotten all the endings and all the characters.
I don't think I got all the endings. I didn't even know there were multiple endings.
Oh, no, I mean just more I beat all the campaigns.
Oh, yeah, so did I. I don't know why. That game's repetitive as hell and requires so much grinding, but I did it.
Well, did you beat all the main campaigns twice, Zach?
What? What do you mean twice?
If you beat the entire game twice, every single time you beat a different character's campaign, you get to read diary entries from Professor Gerald's journal about the process of making Shadow.
I would never do that ever.
Oh, I did. I had to read all the lore as to what happened and why Professor Gerald created Shadow and how the whole process worked. If they're gonna feed me lore, I'll play shit.
I can't believe it. Sonic Battle's so repetitive, though. How do you do it twice?
I just did it. I needed more Sonic all the time.
You're inhuman.
I am. I have a problem. Also, they edited the sprites of the trash below to look like DVD cases of anime and shit. Okay, and then I should have enough. Now I can. Wait, can I hit them now? I think I can. There we go. There we go.
Sonic Battle is the only Sonic game I played on Game Boy Advance, though. My cousin is super into Sonic, but surprisingly had 0 of the Sonic Advance games.
Really?
So I've never played those. Yeah.
Interesting. Of course, I owned all of them and played all of them.
And probably 100%ed all of them because you're fucking crazy.
Oh, Zach, I'm actually wrong. I did not. I don't actually own or have ever played Sonic Pinball Party for the GBA.
Oh, that one I've never heard of.
It doesn't play like Sonic Spinball or anything. It's just literally a pinball game with Sonic-themed levels. I never played that, but I have played all the Advance games, and they're... Oh, let's see. Advance 1 is pretty good. Advance 2 is really good. And Advance 3 is not great. I think you should maybe try Advance 2. Have you played the Sonic Rush games at all, Zach?
No.
Okay,
oh, wait,
well...
I think I played the tiniest bit of Adventure. Sonic Rush Adventure.
Yeah,
and I think I ended up not...
You didn't like it very much?
I think it was because of, like, the ship stuff. I don't know. I remember some weird gimmick in between the levels that immediately made me not like it. But to be fair, this was, like, many, many years ago.
Sure.
But, like, yeah, I'll give Sonic Rush a try sometime. It has music by... Oh, I wish I could ever remember his name. The Just Set Radio guy. And I love the Sonic Rush soundtrack from when I've listened to it on YouTube. Amazing soundtrack.
Yeah, you should definitely play Sonic Rush. That's a good game. The reason why I stopped when I was talking about the Advance games is because Sonic Advance 2 essentially plays like a prototype for what eventually became Sonic Rush. And Sonic Rush is definitely, the first one especially, is worth playing. Adventure, I like more than most people do, but it's also a case where you have to grind like materials by playing the levels multiple times in order to sometimes unlock the next set of missions. And it's it's not a great design. It just feels like Sega, as usual, trying to come up with ways of extending out the playtime of the games. And it always seems like the best Sonic games are the ones that get the best reception, are always the ones where they don't fill it with extra crap. They just make a game and they put it out, and it takes a few hours to beat, but you're satisfied because it's a good game. And it's not filled with padding.
Yeah, I don't get why there are so many games that feel the need to add something just to make the game feel longer.
Because consumers feel like they want to get, their money's worth out of paying $60 for a product is basically, I think, the reason Sega does it that way.
I mean, I know the reasoning behind it, but has it ever worked? Has anyone ever grinded extra bullshit and just been like, oh yes, I'm glad that they made me play this game much longer than I needed to?
I guess somebody is okay with just 100%ing Assassin's Creed games and collecting all of the collectibles that serve no purpose besides 100%.
I mean, there's got to be that audience somewhere. Some people just like to see number go up. Some people just like to know they 100%ed the game. Although maybe I'm not the best judge because I'm always the kind of guy that wants to beat the game quickly.
No, Hamtaro, why do you betray me?
I was gonna say, was that Hamtaro? I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it's Hamtaro.
Why is it Hamtaro?
I don't know.
It's like such a specific anime reference.
Yeah, I remember when that was playing on, like, Toonami, and I don't think I watched any of it. I just saw, like, promos for it.
I was surprised that Kid Me even liked Hamtaro. Because normally I only like the things with the punching, but for some reason I liked Hamtaro. It was the exception. I didn't even like SpongeBob as a kid because there wasn't enough anime or punching. But nope, I like Hamtaro for whatever reason.
I didn't like SpongeBob, but that was because it was the cool thing that everybody liked.
Now, me, I was just so obsessed with the anime art style, I just refused to like anything else.
Oh. Eventually I pulled the stick out of my ass and got better, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I did too, of course. That was the reason why I liked Avatar: Last Airbender so much. It was young me going, ah, finally! Westerners have learned that the Asian style was just so much better. Of course, now I look at a lot of those old animes that I used to like and go like, how did I tolerate watching 60 episodes of nothing happening? Like, especially with being in school and only being able to see 1 or 2 episodes every Saturday, you would think I would get bored of it, but no, just excited to see Naruto or Goku again every Saturday. Even if they did fuck all for an entire week or even an entire month.
So did you watch a ton of, like, DBZ and such back in the day?
Oh, yeah, definitely. DBZ was the only reason I even bothered living as a kid.
Okay.
I just had to know what was going on Planet Namek.
So, should I watch it?
No. If you've watched Abridged, you've watched the better Dragon Ball Z. And so many people are gonna get mad at me about that, and I don't care. Abridged is better. It's shorter. It's better written, in my opinion. It's funny. It's well voice acted. If you watched Abridged, you're good.
Yeah, I should probably see. It did Abridged finish?
It only finished the Cell Saga, and they're not, as far as I'm aware, they're not really going to do the Boo Saga.
Okay.
But honestly, the Boo Saga sucks. Even when I was super into DBZ as a kid, and when I was a kid, I didn't much understand about criticism. I just went like, I like this thing, but not that thing, but I didn't have any deep reason for it.
Okay.
So, like, if something I liked was doing something, I would always like it, just because, well, it's a show I like. So therefore, I must like the thing they're doing. But then I watched the Boo Saga, and then made so many, in my opinion, dumb decisions that even Kid Me just had to be like, yeah, I just don't care anymore. Well, okay, I shouldn't say I didn't care anymore, because I still watched it, but I was still annoyed by everything going on. Because to be like, hey, we introduced fusions. Oh, the guy that got... Oh, the fusion lost. We gave a power-up to a beloved character. Oh, that power-up didn't matter.
Okay.
Oh, Goku is Super Saiyan 3? Oh, he got his ass kicked. Oh, Vegeta and Goku fused. Oh, they lost.
With how much I terminally like Sonic, I feel like I probably should have watched DBZ back in the day because of how much it was, Sonic was inspired by it, but nah, it just never came on my radar. I know kids that liked it.
You don't really need to watch DBZ now. I think it was just, like, of the time. And there are people that are very nostalgic for it, but I think it was only really good back then in school and not anymore.
Well, I know people that do like some of the recent stuff, like Super and the Broly movie and all that. Maybe I'd watch those.
I think the Broly movie is really good. I think Battle of Gods in the Broly movie, and I even think the new Dragon Ball Z movie is pretty fun. Like Dragon Ball Superheroes, I think it's called. I did enjoy that movie quite a bit.
Would I need to know anything?
I mean, for the Broly movie, I don't think you really need to. I think everything you need to know is just told to you at the beginning. You might not know who some characters are, but honestly, the Broly movie is mostly just one big action scene.
Okay.
But it's really good. It has some really good comedy. Battle of Gods, I think, is also really good. Do you need to know anything for that one? Probably, but I think everything you would need to know I could explain pretty quickly.
Okay. I mean, I'm guessing, are they taking off of the continuity of, like, Super in particular?
Well, it's weird. Battle of Gods is before Super, but Super then adapted the movie into the anime.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how the Super anime version compares to the movie, but I would say you could just watch the movie. I did like the tournament. I did like the Tournament of Power arc in Super. Although that's just because, like, I didn't watch all of Super to get there. My brother just started massively binge watching everything Dragon Ball related.
Okay.
And then when he got to the Tournament of Power, I was just like, "Hey, I'll watch it with you," and he was like, "Okay." So we just watched the Tournament of Power together. A lot of people seem to have a lot of problems with it, and I could totally see where they're coming from, but I thought it was dumb anime action fun. I enjoyed it. There's some really good action scenes and some really funny stuff. There's some, like, not great character moments, but it didn't take away from my enjoyment of it too much. Although I guess if you're a long-time Dragon Ball fan, I can definitely see it pissing people off. So yeah, there's probably not much Dragon Ball stuff I would recommend outside of Battle of Gods in the Broly movie.
What about the, like, original Dragon Ball series?
I'm gonna be honest, it's been such a long time since I've seen anything about original Dragon Ball. I think there's a movie that basically abridges the original Dragon Ball. I'm looking this up because this is bothering me. I think it's called Path of Power.
And most likely the most gorgeous level in Sonic Mania.
Oh yeah, this looks really nice. Okay, yeah, Dragon Ball Path to Power.
Okay.
Okay. Dragon Ball Path of Power is a reiteration of the original Dragon Ball anime series. This film is a reboot, borrowing the elements from the first Dragon Ball Surge and the later Red Ribbon storyline.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know much about this movie. From what it says here, I think it's supposed to basically abridge the original Dragon Ball series. All I know is I want to watch it mostly because the animation in it looks really, really good.
Okay.
And I've always been interested in original Dragon Ball stuff. Because I remember there being some really goofy things that happened. And also just characters matter in Dragon Ball, whereas they don't really matter in Z or Super.
Well, recently I got access more and more to Retro Crush, which is a streaming service and TV channel that plays ancient old animes. So I've been thinking about trying out some older anime stuff. There.
Yeah, I need to watch more anime because
my first death.
Oh, damn. When I was a kid, I used to always say I was a big fan of anime, and even today I would still kind of call myself a big fan of anime, but at the same time I barely watch anime. Just because a lot of it just bothers me. I especially can't really watch the shonen. A lot of the shonen stuff, especially.
Well, Zach, a glitch happened that took away the music. That's partially why I tried to kill myself.
Oh, you did that on purpose. Okay, I didn't even notice.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, as you were saying.
I feel like I should be into shonen, but just a lot of shonen just feel like they just waste my time. You know, I mean, I'm not sure if the one I'm about to mention could technically be called shonen. It's technically more of a sports series. But the only shonen I really found myself getting into was Inazuma 11.
Sure,
and that's just because it's a soccer anime that's actually about soccer, and it shows people playing soccer. Instead of wasting my time for 20 episodes while they talk about soccer. And then, I don't know, someone drinks milk that's spoiled and has diarrhea.
What?
Yeah, that's a Naruto filler episode. It's one of the earliest episodes, too. Naruto drinks spoiled milk, and then he uses jutsu to transform into Sasuke to go on a date with Sakura. Oh, but he has diarrhea, so he constantly has to leave.
Okay. Why does Naruto sound like an Adam Sandler movie? I thought this was like one of the most beloved shows about ninjas by teenage girls.
I mean, Naruto does have cool moments. You know, I would say Naruto holds up more than Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, well,
and I'm sure
enough.
someone would want to kill me over that. It's just that Naruto has a lot of really stupid filler, but when it's not stupid filler, it's pretty good. Just good luck finding episodes that aren't stupid filler. Honestly, okay, I'm trying to decide if I would rather watch the Nadia Secret of Blue Water filler than, like, Naruto filler. The answer's probably yeah.
Wait,
because at least the
you'd watch the island episodes of you watched the island episodes of Nadia over the filler in Naruto?
Yeah. Well, it
Holy shit.
Depending on the episode, I guess.
I mean, I haven't seen the filler in Naruto, so I can't judge, but the filler Nadia sucks.
I mean, some people might like the filler in Naruto, but I just find it annoying. I at least know that the island episodes end after a couple of episodes. With Naruto, you never know how long that shit's gonna last.
So this is a remake of Stardust Speedway, which was one of the major levels in Sonic CD.
Oh yeah, I guess we are playing a Sonic game, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I did not mean to go in such a long tangent about random animes I watched as a kid.
Well, what animes would you recommend, Zach? That were actually good.
I have trouble even recommending the anime I like, just because I'm into weird stuff. Like, I still have to finish it, but so far I like Kenichi the Ultimate Disciple. But that anime is a lot.
Yeah, after watching the first episode with Zach, I was like, I don't know, man. this show's a lot to take in. It's one of those cases where I can't really explain it unless you see it. It's just like really, really over the top.
It's very over the top, and it's very weird. But like, I think like when there's a good character moment, it's really good. And I like even though the action scenes are kind of basic, I do like them because they're set up very well in my opinion. But yeah, you kind of have to get through a lot. It's extremely overly energetic, and I like it, but I could see it being very annoying for people. I'd recommend Inazuma 11 if you want a good, crazy soccer anime, but it's also over 100 episodes, so if you've got that kind of... I mean, anime fans also watch One Piece, so 100 episodes isn't that much, I guess, but...
I suppose...
I just have trouble recommending it, because it's... I love Inazuma 11 a lot, but it's over-dramatic, and it is kind of cringe at points. And I think the middle of the series, like Season 2, is weak. Not terrible, but, you know, it's kind of meh. But man, Season 1 and 3 are very, very good. The World Cup arc's amazing. And also the villain is Ray Dark. So, that's a pretty good
That's true. That's true. And one of the main characters is named Axel Blaze.
Yes.
In the English version, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to die. Oh no, Yonoid Lightbulb boss.
I mean, I think most of the anime that I would actually recommend without having caveats is just stuff people have already watched. Full Metal Alchemist, Cowboy Bebop. Soul Eater. I'd actually recommend Soul Eater.
Yeah, I think the finale...
Weird.
The beginning's weird. The show takes a bit to hit, like, the moment where it really really flies off and becomes excellent. But when it does, that show is amazing until the end. I'd say, like, the final battle with the big bad guy has kind of a sort of cop-out kind of thing that isn't explained super well. But it's still worth it for the characters and the story of that show. It's a great world, and it has a really good story.
Yeah, the episodes where they're underneath the school, some of the best episodes in anime I've ever seen out of anime, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's like the arc where you were like, oh, okay, this show has started.
I would say I think it starts to be really good before that, but the under the school is like the peak of Soul Eater.
Well, that's where they introduced the main villain, right?
Yeah, that's where they introduced the main villain, but,
yeah.
I mean, Medusa, I think, is introduced before that.
Sure, I like Medusa, but when they introduced the Kishin, you're like, that's a really cool enemy.
The way he, gets... Oh my gosh, that scene where he's introduced...
Yeah, the animation's incredible.
I'd recommend Soul Eater. It's weird, you kind of have to get through a kind of mad beginning. But once you do, once the show hits its stride, it's very good.
Right. And I've only seen 3 episodes of it, but I do need to see the rest of Tales from the Abyss. Not Tales from the Abyss, It's another show that has Abyss in the name.
Made in Abyss.
Yeah, Made in Abyss. Zach's brother showed me the first 3 episodes of it, and that show seems really good. I just need to actually finish it.
Honestly, Sam, I also need to watch more Made in Abyss. I've watched more with Alex since then.
Okay, cool.
we ended on an episode where it looks like it's building up to something really interesting, and I haven't had time because I have 1,000 other things on my mind.
Yeah.
If we're talking about anime I could recommend without even seeing the whole thing, I've been watching I watched a couple episodes of Gangsta, and I think that one's pretty fun. I'm not sure the best and quickest way to talk about Gangsta. There's a deaf guy and his friend, and they basically get paid to beat up people. There's way more to it than that, but if I had to explain it very briefly. Oh, and the deaf guy has dog tag, which means he's like some kind of super soldier.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how good Gangsta gets later, because I've only seen the first couple of episodes, but from what I saw, I liked it. I would also recommend Baccano, which is... It's been a long time since I've seen Baccano, but I believe Baccano is... If I remember correctly, it's a Prohibition-era anime, where someone is able to make the elixir of life, but they make the elixir of life, and it gives you the ability to basically absorb people and steal their memories and knowledge.
Oh no, Domino's Pizza Yonoid Metal Sonic Overlord.
Oh no.
And there's a giant 3D Domino's
really
Pizza logo in the background. Yeah, they did a really good job with this shit.
Yeah, it's been a really long time since I've seen Baccano, actually.
Yeah, that was actually a show that I
think...
remember a friend recommending to me. Oh god, nope. This boss is tricky because you can hit it, but it has a death pit right behind it.
Oh my gosh, I've been so busy talking about anime, I just now noticed the name is Deep Dish Cheeseway.
Yeah, and Metal Sonic was entirely replaced with the Noid. Yeah, god damn it. Because once you bounce on it, you can't get out of it. So I gotta figure out how I want to do this. I guess I have to roll into it. But, yeah, Baccano is one of those shows where I remember friends back in the day recommending it to me a lot, but yeah, I never got around to it.
I'd recommend it, even though it's been a very long time, and I actually have more holes in my memories about it than I thought I did. But I'd still recommend it, because I remember having good memories of watching it.
Ah, jeez.
I guess one other one I'd recommend, even though I personally am not too into it. Promised Neverland. People say the first season of that is good. Only watch the first season of it. The second season is terrible from what I heard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's one my sister recommends to me a lot that I haven't seen yet.
Yep. Promised Neverland is an anime I didn't know anything about going in, but I could tell the gimmick immediately from the first episode.
Right.
But, I mean, I could see other people really liking it, just me personally, it's not my thing. But I think Promised Neverland is best going into it without knowing anything. So I don't want to go into too much detail why it's not exactly my thing. Although Brandon knows me pretty well, he could probably guess why I don't like it very much.
Yeah, Zach hates history.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's a historical anime.
Damn. To be fair, I remember when I tried this boss in the main game, I got stuck a lot too. So this was a boss that was actually entirely changed, Zach, when they patched the game later on into development. This originally was just a simple, normal boss with Metal Sonic. Normal Metal Sonic. And then later on they patched it and now it's this big Metal Overlord boss, which I kind of find annoying. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
What animes would I recommend? Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water is my favorite anime of all time, so of course I'd recommend that. Oh yeah, and the CEO has a little hologram of Hatsune Miku in the background. It's a foreshadowing to something later. Yeah, I'd recommend Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water. If you don't know what that is, it's an anime version of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Concept was created by Hayao Miyazaki. The show was directed by good old Hideki Anno of Evangelion fame. So if that's not enough to sell you, I don't know what else will. So it has Miyazaki's beautiful landscapes and sense of adventure mixed with Anno's need to make everybody extremely depressed and have psychological issues.
No, yeah, Brain made me watch Secret of Blue Water, and I do think it's very good. I should actually give that another watch sometime. Poor Tails.
Poor Tails. He never gets the air bubble because he's stupid.
Secret of Blue Water is really good. I'd recommend Neon Genesis Evangelion, and another hot take I would get a lot of people to want to murder me, probably. I'd recommend the Rebuild movies over the show. Not that the show is bad. I do think the show is good. I just think the Rebuild movies are more interesting.
My opinion is that you should watch the show, then watch the Rebuild movies, because a lot of the changes the Rebuild movies make were more affecting to me as someone that had actually seen the show.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. I do think the show is still worth watching, so yeah, watch the show and then the Rebuild movies. Oh, I'd recommend One Punch Man, but that's another obvious recommendation.
Sure.
No, One Punch Man is very good. Okay, I've heard people don't like Season 2 that much, but I haven't seen any of Season 2 yet.
Watch...
So I have no real opinion.
Black Butler, but only watch Season 1.
I agree. Black Butler Season 1, specifically Season 1. Season 2 was awful, and don't ever touch CL in Wonderland, or I will find you. And I'll laugh.
He'll just point and laugh. He'll break into your house, and then just point and laugh at you, and then leave. We'll do this zone, and then we'll stop, Zach.
Okay.
What else would I recommend? Let's see. I mean, you know, Full Metal Alchemist, but that's a case where everybody should probably watch. I mean, okay, well, I am talking about the original show, and I know that most people nowadays will tell you the original show sucks and to watch Brotherhood. Those people are probably right, but I still think the first half of Full Metal Alchemist is executed better in the original show than it is in Brotherhood, where they fast forward through everything so that they can get to the stuff people, you know, fast forward to the stuff that the manga, that was changed from the manga in the original show. But yeah, I want to get to the anime of Steins Gate. I mean, I've only read the visual novel, but I've heard people say the anime adaptation of Steins Gate is great. But a visual novel has a lot of great stuff in it. It's just, you know, nobody else wants to read 50 hours of a time travel story except me, so maybe just watch the anime.
I'm honestly probably... Because I've read about 25 hours of it, but at one point when I started it up, a friend of mine on Steam literally sent me a message saying, "Why are you playing the visual novel? Just watch the anime."
But the visual novel has all those alternate endings that add so much more to the characters.
I mean, that one alternate ending I got was a fucking trip.
Yes, and there's more of them, and they all are terrible. They're all just like the worst things happening to these characters.
And like, well, sure, I would miss that. I honestly just kind of want to get a move on.
I know.
I'm very bad with visual novels and reading in general. I used to be able to read books. Just can't anymore. Oh, okay, I shouldn't say I can't, just lots of difficulty. There's so many, like, exciting moving images shows that, like, for me to read a book, I'd have to be like, well, what else could I be doing instead? And it's just like, well, I have to be watching this show, or I have to see this movie, or I have to play this game. Yeah, I would say books still have their place, and there's definitely like books I own that I want to read. But it's just like, when? I don't know.
Especially in our landscape now, where there's a new show coming out every day.
Yeah. Although me being the fucking weirdo I am, I should technically be watching Lost, and I am gonna finish I'm gonna finish Lost eventually. Now, would it be worth it to finish Lost? Is an entirely different story.
My friend from Canada, Zach, would tell you no. Please stop watching Lost, please.
But I want to finish it.
It's pain.
I know it's pain, but I'm enjoying it so far. But that's because I'm not far enough in yet to the pain. I'd also recommend the Castlevania anime. That one's really good.
Oh, yeah. Castlevania is fantastic. And you should watch all the seasons of it. Castlevania Nocturne, the new show, it's pretty good. It just isn't as good as the original show, but I didn't really expect it to be.
Yeah, I felt like for me, Nocturne was about as good as Castlevania Season 3. Or, like, Castlevania Season 3 is the weakest of those seasons, but I still felt like it was really good.
Really? Because I really like that story in Season 3, especially the twist.
For me, Season 3 felt like a bridge between Seasons 2 and 4.
Sure.
Like, Season 3 is still good, it felt more like it was setting something up. And while I do like the village it takes place in, I remember that village not being, like, as interesting as other things, like, especially in Season 2 and 4.
Sure. A lot of people don't like Season 3 because of it being a more standalone. I mean, but it isn't standalone because you still get stuff in the background with the vampires story and them creating their army that becomes integral to what the final season's about. But people don't like it because Richter and Sylvia are in a village, and you know it's not what everybody like. They wanted stuff to have more connection. But the story they tell in that village is so good.
Wait, Richter?
Yeah, I of course meant Trevor, but...
Hey, I still like the stuff. I still like the stuff in the village.
What would I say is the weakest season? Honestly, it might be 4. But you know, it's still a really good finale. What else? Well, I guess I now consider the 80s version of Astro Boy to be one of my favorite animes after watching it recently, so I would recommend that, but it's it's all much... So there's some continuity, but it's definitely a lot of, like, standalone stories. Like, it's a show where it has continuity, but it also doesn't really mind excusing some of that just to tell really interesting science fiction stories, which I kind of respect it for. It's a really good show. I think it's far superior to the 2003 Astro Boy show that probably most of you are familiar with that aired on, like, Toonami. I think that show's fine, but it's incredibly safe and uninteresting in comparison to the 80s show.
Oh, that does remind me. I'd also recommend Pluto, the Netflix anime.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you can read the manga, of course. It's the same basic story, but from what my friends and everybody has told me that have watched it, the Netflix anime adaptation of Pluto, which adapts an old story of Astro Boy and remakes it, is wonderful.
Oh, so I'm not the only one you roped into watching it?
Oh, no, I've constantly berated other people, please, or else... watched Pluto, and some were into it. Most people just asked, what the fuck is that? But, yeah.
Yeah, because I saw the 80s Pluto storyline, and I thought it was really interesting. And Brandon said there was, like, a standalone story based on that. I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely want to see that. I thought it was really, really good, but, you know, with it only being a two-parter and an anime originally, there wasn't really much depth and development to all the super cool robots.
Yep, and that's why Pluto, the new show, expands the story and makes all of them pretty interesting characters. What else? Well, I mean, you and I watched Angel Beats, Zach, and that show was like a case where most of it's actually really good, and then the ending for me just completely destroyed that entire show.
Yeah, I agree.
The ending blows.
I don't think it's the worst ending I've ever seen, but it's still not a very good ending.
It's one of those endings like a lot of our childhood cartoon shows where they put a romance of two characters together that don't have any chemistry.
I am getting so sick of that, by the way. I'm so sick of forced romances. Oh, like, it especially annoyed me in Detective Pikachu, of all things. I don't know why, but that one especially made me mad.
Oh, I didn't remember the forced romance in Detective Pikachu. I just remember the terrible twist during the climax and the main villain's stupid plan.
Yeah, I mean, that one was also pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people really like the Detective Pikachu movie. I do not. I don't particularly care for that movie. At first I thought it was fine, but as time moves on, I think I like it less and less.
I don't think it's awful, but the people that claim it to be, you know, the step forward for video game movies, I mean, here's the thing about Detective Pikachu. I think its world is great. I think it has a fantastic way of adapting Pokemon into a realistic world, but the script is mind-numbingly stupid. Like, its whole story sucks, and all of its potential with the really good main actor and how great the Pokemon look in CG is wasted on how terrible the writing of that story is. And by comparison, I think, despite its lower budget and not grossing quite, you know, the same amount, Sonic the Hedgehog 1, the first movie, just has a far, far more solid script that isn't as overly convoluted or dumb. It's just simple and nice and kind of heartwarming. He just wants a friend.
Yeah, I think I've seen some people say that if you say the Sonic movie's better than Detective Pikachu, that's a hot take, and I'm like, no, that's just correct. No, I think DLC Dunes. The Sonic movie is way better than Detective Pikachu. Like, I don't even think it's a contest. Like, I actually liked... Well, okay, I shouldn't say I disliked the main characters in Detective Pikachu. I thought they were fine, but I was more engrossed by Sonic and Tom's story than I ever was in Detective Pikachu. Mostly because I knew the twist of who Pikachu was immediately.
Right. And apparently in Detective Pikachu...
Like,
and apparently the games are eventually going to do that twist, or they did that twist too, which I'm just like, come on.
Oh yeah, Detective Pikachu Returns is actually worse than the movie.
Damn. I mean, that's an accomplishment.
It is.
Look, I want to see more movies in that universe. I just don't want to see those characters again.
I want to see a Pokemon movie that's actually about the Pokemon journey. Like, I want some fucking Pokemon battles for once. You know, like, there's Pokemon Concierge coming out, and I'm sure some people will like it and find it to be a cute slice of life. I'm not saying it's gonna be bad, but I'm just like, where's Pokemon battles? I want Pokemon battles. Also, something we were probably gonna finish before, but we're still talking, so we might as well keep going.
Are you sure, Zach? I mean, I guess it would be, if we wanted to do more of this, it would be hard for me to start in the middle of a level.
Yeah.
I mean, I can at least finish this section.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Also, this fucking remix is going hard. I don't even think this is like the same music as this part of the level. Oh no, he's piloting a train! Alright. And this is actually, in some ways, a reference to... I think it's a part of Sonic Triple Trouble that has a bit of a train to it. I'm right. Yeah, there's a train you go across in Sonic Triple Trouble, which they expand in the fan-made Triple Trouble remake, which is basically, in my opinion, surpassed the original game. But not that it'll ever be canon to Sega, but I doubt... Well, I want to say Sega probably doesn't care that much about the continuity of Triple Trouble, but they just brought back Knack the Weasel and Superstars, so I don't know. Uh-oh, boss. Ah! It's horrifying. So, Zach, I think when I played this, it was an earlier version of this mod. So, I don't think they added a lot of this stuff.
That caught me so off guard. It looks beautiful.
Oh, God. Yeah, but I don't have any rings. And I hit part of its body, no. But thankfully, we don't need to redo all of that. Okay, there we go. And see, like, he's using the Phantom Ruby here to change it into something, which the Phantom Ruby is also what Infinite uses in Sonic Forces, which creates illusions. So, like, why is this actually attacking us? Which, I mean, I guess the stuff that's illusions in Sonic Forces attacks us too. I guess it makes illusions reality, but then how are they illusions? I guess fuck it, who cares?
Like, you're playing as a blue hedgehog that runs fast.
Sure, but I've read so many comic books of this character that make his lore interesting, so I'd like it to be a little more thought out than that. But oh well.
But this is classic Sonic. I don't know.
I suppose.
I mean, like, it's just meant for a video game. It's just mostly meant to be an excuse to have cool level gimmicks.
I know. I just think the Phantom Ruby's an interesting concept, and they should do more with it.
Oh, an anime I'd recommend is Fooly Cooly.
Oh, yeah, Fooly Cooly's insane, but it's a lot of fun.
Fooly Cooly is really well animated, but like Brandon said, it's absolutely fucking bonkers.
Yeah, the whole point is it doesn't make any sense, and it's just a bunch of stuff. But it's beautifully animated and just insane. It just feels like Fooly Cooly is like one of the prime examples of what happens when you just let someone have total creative freedom. There we go.
Yeah, generally someone having total creative freedom tends to not go well. There usually, like, tends to be a lot of ego and a lot of crazy ideas implemented. But Fooly Cooly just accepts the fact that it's fucking insane and crazy. And it's just totally a lot of fun if you're willing to go along with it.
So I guess we could stop here.
Yeah, because this is probably going to be a super bitch to edit.
A little bit. I mean, this is keeping busy, so I don't have to edit too much, but I might add things here and there. I forget the name of who made this mod. I'll put that in here. But please play this mod. It's a fantastic full conversion mod of this game. If you're just looking to have a reason to replay Mania, then please play it with this ridiculous mod on. It's a lot of fun. They put a lot of effort into it. And that's about it. I made this video purely just to show Zach that after playing Superstars that no 2D Sonic games are good. Please like Sonic. You know, it's totally okay. It's not. I'm not desperate, please. So that's about it. Thank you for watching another episode of Keeping BZ.
We'll have something non-Sonic related next time.
Probably not.
Probably not.